3, 2. All right, that was Erykah Badu, Next Lifetime. So it's finally happened, ladies and gentlemen. Finally, we're free. We have an anti-lynching bill. It has taken 150 years, many incarnations. There were many people who opposed to it. A lot of people in the Congress, I ain't got to tell you which party, were opposed to it. They wanted it, they wanted it basically to have the states to be in charge of it, which is probably why we had so many lynchings in the first place, because states were actually in charge of it. Things didn't start to change until the federal government got involved. But the problem is that the verbiage, it took them 150 years to find a way to say that lynching black people or lynching people was wrong. They couldn't quite wrap their heads around saying that lynching people, there have been thousands of lynching, and most of them were never charged with that. Most of the people who lynch people were never charged with it. So it's taken the United States of America, the United States Congress and Senate 150 years to pass an anti-lynching bill. Now, in that time, we've had men on the moon. We've had a black president. The scope of things has changed. We have the black women who are one of the most educated sections of our society. And finally, the United States come through with a 150-year-old bill. It took them 150 years to do it. 150 years to say that murdering people was wrong. Because I guess they could not wrap their head, they could not find a way to go, well, you shouldn't be able to do this. Because they wanted to parse it out. Well, if you kill somebody this way, that's not so bad. And what if some black guy does this and you do that? That's not lynching. They could not wrap their heads around saying that it was wrong to lynch black people. It took 150 years to find the words that lynching people is wrong, and the federal government will write a law to do something about it. You know how fast it took them to get a bill to stop us from texting in the car? Mothers against drunk driving in the car? How fast it took to do that? But for the United States of America to be able to say that lynching is wrong took 150 years. We've had a black president since that time. We had a female run as the major candidate for a political party during that time. We have had black quarterbacks, and we've had several advancements made for it. But it took 150 years for our government to be able to say that murdering people, lynching people is wrong. But, I guess better late than never. 150. We've had a black president since then. We have literally sent men to the moon. We now talk in ways we never had before. I was cleaning out my closet, and I found a sky pager. So the sky pager came and went before the United States government was able to say lynching people is wrong. That you couldn't get the Congress and the Senate to agree. Do you know what happened after Hurricane Katrina? The only thing they can agree on is that animals should be carted off to safety after the flood. But it took that body 150 years to say that lynching people is wrong. 150 years. Well, I guess better late than never. That's a little note from the GED section. We got the Jazz Report coming up in 15 minutes. It's the D.L. Hughley Show.